Grab your print or digital copy of Go Queen magazine today. Stay inspired by the incredible stories and features inside. Visit our website to grab your copy now. Hey Queen, welcome to another episode of the Q Chat. Today we are joined by the phenomenal Rita Smith, a relationship expert who has captured the hearts of many with her wisdom and insight. Married for over 40 years, Rita's experience and expertise have made her the go-to source for relationship advice. She went viral for her candid takes on love and relationships, and her message of love can't wait has resonated with thousands of countless people looking to build healthy, lasting connections. As the owner of Kitty Wiggle and a featured guest on Essence and the Tamron Hall Show, Rita is dedicated to helping individuals recognize red flags, heal after trauma, and cultivate confidence in their single lives. In this episode, we'll dive into her journey, her best dating advice, and the importance of mental health and self-love in relationships. Get ready to be inspired.
She's a queen about her business, working hard on a mission. Head high, purpose driven, crown on, never tilted, go queen. Go queen. Go queen.
So thank you guys for joining another episode of the Q Chat. Today, my very special guest is Miss Rita Smith, and Rita went viral for her beautiful videos and her relationship goals. She is the epitome of relationship couple goals. So we're going to talk about a lot of things regarding dating and relationships and how to keep the spice going. She's also gone viral. She's been seen on a lot of prominent platforms like Tamron Hall, Essence. So we're just going to chat it up on this viral sensation. And also she has a new ebook coming out called Love Can Wait. And she also is the CEO of a spicy lingerie company called Kitty Wiggle. So we're going to have a good conversation. How are you doing today? So how you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm sorry I didn't hear. I'm doing great. And
Oh, that's okay. So I'm so happy to chat with you. So first off, of course, I want to start off talking about this viral moment. I know you went viral. You and Babe, that's okay. We refer to him as that. So I know you've been married for 43 years. So tell us about this moment and just what made you decide to start doing your videos and how did it go viral?
the viral moment shocked me. It shocked me. First of all, I always did talk about my man, my man, my man, because that's my man. He good to me.
Yeah.
And so around the pandemic time, when we couldn't get out a lot, I started coming out with it. Just talking about it on the videos and stuff. And I stopped. I wasn't persistent. And people would see my daughter and say, tell your mama come out. Children that they went to school with, grown women now. Tell your mama come on because we need that. And I was like, oh no. I was saying no because my business is my business, stuff like that. So I started again, but my daughter got sick with lupus and stopped walking. So I just stopped, period.
Yeah.
And then when she got well again, thank God, people started telling her again to tell me come out. And they was calling for me. And so my daughter said, well, you my great expert inspiration. And so I had to come out. And that's when it really was my daughter because she was like, a lot of women need to hear about your marriage. A lot of people need hope. So it was her that pushed me to that.
Right. So how did it feel though when you realized, because I know how it is during COVID, a lot of us was doing all types of things to keep busy and videoing things. And for some of us that like to keep private, it was kind of like a balance because like you said, old school, we really like to keep our business to ourselves. So how was it when you realized, wait a minute, people are really watching these videos? Did you have any regrets at all?
I don't know. I'm this person. It is what it is with me. What touched me the most is when women came to me and said, "You're really helping me." That's what really touched me. And that really caused me to tear up because I didn't see it like that.
Yeah.
All I saw is I'm just being Rita. This is who I am. I didn't see it like, oh, I'm helping someone. But now that I see it, and I began to see it back then and see it now, it tears me up. It really touches my heart. It humbles my heart in such a way that I feel so grateful. I really feel grateful to God for, using me in this capacity.
Hmm. So I can only imagine, because I think one of the things that make people comfortable when they see your videos is, maybe even for single women, or let's be honest, a lot of people have gone through relationship trauma. So sometimes it's hard for them to even imagine that, okay, marriages last 40 plus years. Some people really don't see that. So I think that's one of the things that people are excited about when they do see your videos. And so I know, like you said, a lot of different women are coming to you and you've seen how it's made an impact. And I know you do have the Love Can Wait. So can you tell us about the ebook and what made you decide to write it? Because, like I said, I know that your videos are really helping other generations to be like, okay, these are goals that I can have one day.
Um, I've always written love stories, and so one day I said I just want to put it into a book. Like I like to write spicy stuff that I'm working on right now. So I just wanted to do Love Can't Wait because it's like this is something I always had in me and wanted to do and express myself so they could know me just a tad bit more. So that's what really prompted me that way.
Hmm. So, what are some of the things we can expect in the book without you giving everything away? But what are some of the things we can expect in it?
Well, what I love about the part that my man put in back to the basis, I love that because the way I see dating now to the dating that we started in the 70s is nothing like that. Like, I hate to see when women looking up a man when they're supposed to be finding us. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
We talked about that and the chemistry of being in a relationship, whether you're single or married. The chemistry can be so strong, and chemistry don't always have to be sex. You know what I'm saying? The chemistry could be that you're on the same accord. The chemistry could be that you like different interests, but you still can come together and love each other interests at the same time. And so those were some of the things I was talking about in the book. And the last thing is that I really, really like about it is that I'll be about to cry when I talk, so I have to pause a little bit. When I was talking about my illness in there, you know, so people can kind of understand that I'm not just the sex model. I'm all that. You
Yeah.
know, I know what it is to be down and to be back up. I know what it is to have trials and tribulations. But I'm grateful that God blessed me with a man that I have to help me through that. And the prayers that he prayed for me, because I was really in a dark, dark place, a dark place, literally almost to death, that place.
Wow.
Yes.
That's and that's I love that you're transparent too. And to
Thank
me
you.
it kind of is like a nod, to the vows, sickness and in health. So it's good
Mhm.
to just show people the positive side of relationships, because I think so many people have built platforms on the negative side of
Mhm.
men and women. So it's refreshing to hit some positivity. So that's always a plus. So I don't want to put you on the spot, but as you know, I do follow you and your daughter on social media. And I know there's a video where I commented, I said, oh, y'all over there cutting up because,
Yeah.
because y'all got it. So I want to ask you, for the other single women that's going to be tuning in, give us some advice. Come on, give us that auntie advice and tell us, what do we need to be looking for when we go out? Because like you said, they're supposed to find us. So what advice do you have? What's your dating advice? What's the tea?
Let me tell you what I do. And me and my daughter, we when we go out, look, this is so funny. We go out, we looking good, we smelling good. You know what I'm saying? We
Mm-hmm.
leave a trail with our perfume, and believe me, the men come to the table.
Mm-hmm.
They come to the table because they're smelling that perfume. They're looking at the way we carry ourselves. They're looking at the way we look. And I tell single people, always keep yourself up. Keep yourself looking good, smelling good. And when you go out there, shine.
Mm-hmm.
Let them see you shine. And I'm telling you, when men see that, they come. I ain't saying you got to pick this, that, but they come. And always, be be faithful to yourself. Be true to yourself of what you really, really want in a man. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? That is so important. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of women, especially single women, they settle for what they don't want. And I hate to see that. So being single, my daughter's at the nail parlor, look, hair salon, spa places, spa beds. Like we really hang out because she's single. And when we hanging out like that, no matter where we go, men they follow. And then I have to tell them where I'm married, and stuff like that. But they look at that, and let me tell you something: men know who you are. They know, but you got to know who you are. You got to know what you want. And when you know what you want, that's what you're gonna attract. You're gonna attract what you really, really want, and what's gonna be beneficial in your life. Because many times people attract certain people, opposite sex and stuff like that, and then they start dating and it's nothing that they want. You see what I'm saying? But you have to know who you want. Be true to yourself. That's it. That part.
Mm. What advice do you have too? Because I think sometimes women, and I hate to generalize, but sometimes I'll say single people because it is what it is. But sometimes people who are single, they may be so wrapped up in finding a mate, like you mentioned, you still have to take care of yourself, that they kind of think that that's their whole identity on whether they have somebody. But like you said, if you're in a mindset where you're like, hey, I'm not going to settle, sometimes it may take a little longer because you're
Mm-hmm.
like, hey, I'm confident in this is what I want in a mate, and I'm going to wait until that person comes. So what's your advice on just for people to just keep that confidence going? Because some people, they struggle with that confidence because sometimes people put themselves down because they're single.
I would just, as a single person, achieve everything that I set out to do. If just if you set goals for yourself, you know, just do it. Do everything that you want to achieve. It's even in waiting for that, but you have to just continue to pray. Oh, please continue to pray. Go out, date yourself. Just do something new, something good for yourself, you know. And look, another thing is having a nice group. You know what I'm saying? Like group of women, you can do and talk to your little friends and stuff. Something that you can get so involved in. The museum. Just keep rotating, and keep moving because it can come that particular day. It can just happen. I can remember back when I was 14 and a half and I was going through some things in my parents' home with my mom. And my husband always saw me and I saw him, but I didn't see him as my boyfriend. He saw me as a girlfriend, but I didn't see him like that. But that day, I was going through some stuff, but he didn't know. He asked me for my number, and I gave him my number. I was smiling down. You know what I'm saying? But see, although I was going through all this stuff, I kept rotating. I kept moving. No one knew what I was going through, and I kept praying. And when that happened in my life, that God knew I must have needed that because it happened in my life. He came into my life at a good time in my life when I was really struggling where I was at. And all I wanted, honestly, was just a boyfriend just to talk to and, kind of get some of these things out. But then I didn't get them out because I was embarrassed. But at that time, I just kept rotating. I kept moving. I kept evolving. And he saw me every day, every day. And that particular day, usually I don't give guys my number at all. I wouldn't have. That particular day, I did. And God saw fit. See, so we never know. You got to just keep doing you. You got to keep moving. You got to keep doing you. Keep achieving. And that doing when you least expect, that's when your blessing comes.
Mm, wow. I want
That's
to
what
ask
happened.
you too. And now, of course, like you said, you've been married for over 43 years. So, for the other part of people that's going to be watching, people that are already in relationships or in marriages, as we know, marriages, relationships, it's a lot of work. So, what advice also can you have for people to just keep the spice going and just to keep the communication going? How to just keep the fun and the spark in their relationships?
Well, everybody know I love to role play. As a wife, I've been role playing since 19, like the day I got married. And it was beautiful. And I just kept role playing. I love to role play because, see, my man's shy.
Mm-hmm.
And I helped to bring out some things in him that he had deep within him, right? Because, see, I'm role playing, not knowing what was going on with him either. And I would say, I would spark up a conversation. You know what I'm saying? Even in role playing, even in the costume that I would wear, that sparks conversation, right? And as I kept doing that, a lot of communication came out of that. A lot of emotions came out of that. I'm telling you, a lot of things that the both of us had in us came out of that for the good. And that communication came out of that because I was the one who didn't want to communicate. I was the one like, I'm gonna say it like this, and he would say, no, we're gonna sit down and talk about it. Even in role playing, we kept that spark. And I find, let me tell you, I find a lot of adult weddings, I mean weddings, marriages that been 50 and 40 something and 30 something years, they don't even sleep with their spouses. They sleep in separate bedrooms. Not up in here. Mm-mm. No. And you have to keep that line of communication open. It's like every day I could find something new to do for my man and with my man. And he does the same thing with me because we working together. I don't have to do all the work. And he don't have to do all the work. But that role playing has really set everything aflame. It has really helped us set everything aflame. And the communication and setting goals for your marriage, setting goals. I actually sat down. Where my book at, Tamika? I have this book right here. And I sat down during the day and I write down things that I want to do in my marriage and I want to see go on in my marriage and happen and demonstrate in my marriage. This is what I do. And it's called a prayer journal, which is my diary also. And I write these things down and I watch these things come alive in my life. I pray it, I write it, I believe it, I trust God, and I'm telling you, it comes alive. And it's so beautiful. Because if you know my backstory, to be where I'm at today, there is a God.
Mm.
Trust me, there is a God, and God blessed me. When I say He blessed me, He richly blessed me with this man.
Mm. Wow.
He richly blessed me with this man. Ever since the both of us became Christians, and I would never forget that. And we learned, we carved out everything that we want to see in our relationship. I tell people, don't let your relationship die. Even people that have kids. I have 3 adult kids. I homeschool my kids, right? But I never took away time from my man because I didn't want to be where, okay, our kids are gone and we just empty heads because you didn't do anything during the whole time the kids was home. And now we empty nesters and it is on even more. And my kids knew when that door was shut, they knew it was our time.
Yeah.
So when I see a lot of marriages, I don't want no stale marriage. I'm sorry, I don't want that. I don't want a marriage where, um, you cussing me and I'm cussing you and we can't get along. See, I grew up with that. I didn't want that. And I refuse to even accept something like that. And when I see a lot of marriages where, and these, some of these people I'm talking about are my friends, where separate bedrooms, separate bank accounts. No, no, no. It's a lot in marriage, and people say it's a lot of work, but I'll kid you not. I cannot say that because in my marriage, my husband have done everything to give me the soft life. I might be cracking up a little bit because I cry about things like this.
Yeah.
He give me the soft life, the life that is stress free. He'll take it before he give it to me.
Mm.
And so during that time that I was talking about when I was sick, I felt so bad for him for that because he've always given that to me. And I appreciate that God knew what I needed. And that's why I tell women, trust in God, trust in your faith, have your relationship with God. Because let me tell you, when you have that, you got everything. And God ain't gonna leave you comfortless, and He's not gonna bring you somebody that's not fitting for you. He's not going to do that. And I know if He blessed me the way He blessed me, and He has truly, richly blessed me with this man that I'm married to, He can do it for anybody.
Mm.
Anybody.
Wow.
That's so beautiful. But I want to ask you too, just like you said, how God sent you the right person. There's some people who they're going through trauma actually in their relationships because they may not have had that fairy tale ending. Obviously, they may be divorced or just had a bad relationship, and sometimes that trauma holds people back as well, or causes them problems and bringing not bringing that into the next relationship, or it may cause them issues and just dating in general or finding that trust. What's your advice for people who they may have had a bad relationship and they're kind of struggling with that? So they want a date, but they're not sure. They really do want that special somebody,
Mhm.
but they're kind of being held back from, the past. So, what's your advice on just healing from past relationship trauma so that they can still have a positive, healthy outlook on just dating in the future?
Don't love scared. Don't love scared. Because when things like that happen and then the right person come along, we scared and we mess up. We can miss out. Don't, a part of that is in my ebook. Don't love scared. Love freely. Learn to love freely. Even if you have to take it bit by bit, day by day, learn to love freely and try not to live back in that past. Come in that future and pray that Lord bring me to the future because I don't want to live back in that past. And don't let me love scared. Because if you love scared, you're gonna miss out. You're gonna miss out. I would say don't love scared.
Mm. Wow, that's some very good advice, because I think sometimes we think about how fear can hold us back in other
Hmm.
parts of our life, but we may not necessarily associate how fear can hold us back in just our relationships with people too. So that's a very good observation. So I want to ask you, of course, about your other business is Kitty Wiggle. So tell us about that. It sounds super spicy. So tell us about Kitty Wiggle.
Kitty Wiggle is close to my heart because during the time I have endometriosis, and at 26, I got sick at 23 after I had my daughter, my last baby. And I didn't know what it was. I was suffering 23, 24, 25. I mean, suffering. And the bad thing is, I was on a point of death, but I didn't know. And so during that time, my husband always bought me really beautiful lacy lingerie because he loved lace. And so I was so sick till, he would have to bathe me and all that. And he would bring the lingerie, he'd put it in a bed, he'd put it on me and stuff. Because at the time, when you're sick like that, your body can't stand to feel certain things. But he would buy me these silky pieces and these lacy pieces, and he would put it on me. And when I was laying there sick and I was crying, and I said, one day I want to sell lingerie. And I said, the reason why, because I know what I'm going through right now. And my body couldn't take the sheets and, certain other pains and stuff. And I said, I want any woman that go through this or not. But during that time, I said, any woman that's sick, I just want her to feel secure because I felt insecure. I mean, I felt so insecure because I felt invalid because I couldn't do anything from the way my life was to where it came. Oh my God. And I was so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed, but I didn't tell him that at the time. But he kept loving me, he kept bathing me. And so I was like, one day I'm going to sell lingerie. I said, I'm going to sell panties because my husband is really into panties. Like he loves lace panties and stuff. And that's what caused me to want to do that because of the illness that I had. And then at 26, I finally got the first surgery. Almost killed me.
Mm.
So, but although we couldn't do anything, he kept touching me, touching and all this good stuff. And 27 and a half, it came back. I had endometrial cancer that time at 27 and a half. But I still was wearing that lingerie.
Mm.
He still put that lingerie up on me. He still was bathing me. He still was making sure to take care of me. But that lingerie to me was so important. It made me felt like I can have, be back sexual when I couldn't be.
Right.
It made me feel like I could because I felt dead inside. I'm telling you, I felt so dead. They had taken out everything I had. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? I'm laughing because I laugh a lot. But they had taken out everything that I had, and I felt so insecure. I felt insecure with cut on my stomach because that one side to the other side and stapling and all that. Oh, I was just so embarrassed.
Mm.
I was so embarrassed, but I'll kid you not. Every time he put a piece of lingerie on me and panties on me, I just start feeling like I'm coming back to life now. I'm coming back to life. I'm coming back to life. Because at first I felt like, you know what? This marriage is over.
Mm.
I was trying to get him somebody to be with one of my friends, because I was on like close to death. Then I was small children. And so
Wow.
that part.
That's something else. And I think, you just, as women, we go through so many different things, especially the physical part that we go through. And I understand. I had a hysterectomy too, so I get it when you are
Mm.
scarred up or you just not feeling like yourself. So I just think it's beautiful that, I mean, when you put on certain things, you just feel like that Shania Twain song, you feel like a woman, like it's just
Yes,
something that
yes,
just builds your confidence no matter what mood you're in. When you put on that lace, that silk, or just like you said, the right perfume, that hair, that
yes.
whatever,
Oh, yes.
extra cherry on top to make you feel good no matter how you're feeling on the inside. So I definitely can understand that. So I wanted to ask you too, just in your relationship and just as a woman, like I said, things that you've going through cancer, and just I know how it is when you have those reproductive issues. It's draining. It really takes away a quality of your life.
Yes.
So I want to ask you because on our platform, one of the things we do like to talk about with the queens is mental health and how important that is. So what are some of the things that you do or have maybe even done in the past to cater to your mental health and wellness?
Well, first of all, I did a lot of praying. I, I did a lot of praying. And I started exercising more because I used to exercise. I used to be so active before that day, before that time came. I did a lot of things with my kids, a whole lot of stuff with my kids. Decorating, just things I love to do because I love to decorate. I started like I never was a shopper at that time. I started shopping, a lot. Just trying to build myself back up. You know what I'm saying? And feeling, wonderful all over again. So I did a lot of that. And I have a daughter, and my kids are my everything. But I literally almost died with my daughter. And having my daughter helped me so much with that endometriosis thing. Because let me tell you, every time I would see her, I knew I couldn't leave here because I always play with my daughter, like dishes, baby dolls. And I'm telling you, I did a lot of stuff like that with my daughter. I did so much with because my husband would make sure he have the boys. I did so much with my daughter that helped to build me up. Even to this day, we still like that. I mean, like, dress my daughter up, polish her toes, polish her nails, comb her hair. Just like I was intense with this because I wanted the girl so bad, So having her and doing that, all the things that I did with this child, like teaching her, just everything, loving on her, you know, it did a lot for me. It did a lot for me, a whole lot for me. It helped me to get where I needed to get at because I realized I said, I didn't want to leave them in the beginning, but she was the baby, and I felt like God blessed me with this daughter because He knew I was gonna go through this rough time in my life, and having this little quiet girl with me all the time doing different things. I would have her decorating with me, you know, anything that she wanted to do or I wanted to do, that brought me joy. It really brought me joy. You know how some people say, well, I'm living for my children, that part. I wasn't worried about all the material things because I've been blessed with that. But I needed something more tangible.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And she was that something that I needed more tangible for me.
Mm. That is so beautiful. And I trust me, I know I have three kids, but I only have one daughter, so I know how that's like a different bond that's practically indescribable. So
Yes.
things I want to ask you about before we wrap everything is our platform as well. We talk about self love. Self love is something that is extremely important to just have that confidence in yourself and to just really value yourself. And also, when you have that self love, especially when we talk about relationships, like you said, just sometimes the settling or just maybe feeling uncomfortable that you're single and putting yourself down. But when you have that self love value, you know that you're worthy, whether you have your man, whether you have your lady, whether you're single, whether you're not, just to still have that self love and confidence to know that you're valuable and you're worthy. So I want to ask you, how do you define self love and what role has it played in your life?
I didn't hear the last part. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. I want to ask you, how do you define self love and what role has it played in your life?
Self love for me, oh girl. Now, self self love for me is just enjoying my life, enjoying my marriage even more. I'm like, I cannot put it all into words how wonderful it is for me at this time because I have been through so much. Give me a minute. I have been through so much, the storm and the rain,
Mm,
being ill. And so now I'm just really, really, really enjoying my life. I'm enjoying my marriage even more. I'm enjoying our spontaneous dates together. I'm enjoying him just calling me saying, look, I'm coming pick you up like we 15, like I'm 15 all over again. I'm enjoying everything and I take nothing for granted. I take nothing for granted because I've been through so much and been down for so much. And self love for me, at one time I'll never really get my nails done, but I get my nails done now. Always did get my hair done. I still love to decorate. This is the things I love doing. And I love shopping now. I never used to love shopping the way I do now. And I'm just really enjoying the life that God has blessed me with my man and my family. That's my
mm,
self love. That's my self love, and
mm,
I am so grateful for that. And I
mm,
tell anybody, you know, love yourself. You know, encourage yourself even when you're down. Encourage yourself in the Lord. I get the scripture, especially when I was sick, and I would just quote it and quote it and quote it, you know, to get well. And so now, I'm like I'm up on the chandelier, you know. I'm just enjoying life
mm,
and I'm enjoying it more abundantly because when I look back, it was horrible.
mm.
My little self love, I didn't have it anymore. You know what I'm saying? For some years because I was so down. And so now it's like, ooh, I'm gone. I'm just gone. Gone with the wind fabulous. Enjoying the man in my life. That means a lot to me. That means a lot to me. And then we do so much together. That means everything to me. Self love to me is even having my family. I have two boys, grown men, 42 and 43. The oldest boy and my baby boy, 42. That's my self love. My five grandkids. All of that is my self love for me.
Mm. Wow. I love it. I love it. And the key word is just gratitude, just being grateful. So
Grateful. Yes.
that's so
Yes.
beautiful. And then just like you said, to go through a lot and to have peace. Like you have peace. You have a healthy relationship and a family, and there's nothing like peace, especially after you've been through a storm. So I know it's tears of joy. So I just think it's just so beautiful. And this has been an amazing conversation, of course. But I want to ask you before we end everything. Now, can you leave people that's going to watch this or listen to this episode? Can you leave us with an affirmation?
Mm. Always, always put your trust in God. Always, always. You
I
know, and always, you know, this mind, I will, and I do put my trust in God. That one.
Yes, I love
Yeah.
it. You can't lose. You can't go wrong when you put God first. So I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for this conversation. You have definitely touched me today. This has been great. Before we end everything, though, tell everybody how they can find you, how they can follow you on social media, and how they can get this lingerie and also that ebook.
I'm on Instagram, Bad Girl 504, YouTube, um, I'm sorry, YouTube, Bad Girl 504, Facebook, Rita Smith, TikTok, Bad Girl 504, and my ebook, Love Can't Wait, is on bookbaby.com. My lingerie, Kitty Wiggle collection.
Awesome. Awesome. I love it. Thank you so much again for this conversation. And I just appreciate just how you've given us just the full journey on you can have a healthy relationship. Are things
Mhm.
going to be perfect? No, because we're going to have bad days. We go through trials and tribulations. But when you love somebody, you have to be there for that person. You
Yeah.
know, a relationship is a give and a take. And I think that's one of
Mhm.
the things that we resonate with you because we seeing that it's two people who truly love each other. And when you love, you give. And when you love, you also take. And I just love how, like, 43 years strong. Like this is it's a beautiful love story, and we need
Thank
to
you.
see more Black love. So I definitely appreciate both of you. So you and your man, I love it. Like I just love seeing it. You know, just makes everybody happy. So thank you again for
Thank
this
you
beautiful
too.
conversation. So guys, remember, please go ahead and follow Rita if you aren't following her already. And go ahead and look up the information, get that ebook. And also, if you ladies are feeling spicy, go ahead and check out Kitty wigglecollection.com and go ahead and make yourself feel good. Whether you have a man or not, you can still get you some spicy lingerie, some nice lace, some silk. Go ahead and treat yourself. So thank you guys again for tuning in. And just remember to just love yourself, whether you have a ring, whether you don't, whether you're looking. Just remember to value yourself. Don't settle. You're worthy, you're valuable. You're valuable whether you're single or if you're seeking and you really want that in your heart. Just pray and trust God and just know that whatever's meant for you will be. So thank you guys for tuning in to the Q Chat. You can catch this episode and more www.goqueen.com. Make sure you be safe and go love yourself.
She's a queen.